thanks for joining us for another Five Things podcast. Got a special guest today, Phumi Nkuta. And a little line I came up with is when you're on the mic, the H is silent, but you're not.
Absolutely. I'm definitely a trash talker Skywalker, I guess, if you could put it like that.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny when after just getting to know you, like the first time we met each other, and I'll give you your official introduction here in a second, but first time we met each other was in my kitchen.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, I didn't know you at the time, and you just super nice guy, just good guy. And then I come to find out you're another killer in my kitchen, So
beautiful home, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Beautiful home.
Thank you. It's we're hosting a little something this Saturday. You're certainly invited if you're around. Some of the folks are coming out, but a flyweight MMA fighter, 30 years old. You're 10-0 as a pro currently.
Yes, sir.
Nickname is Turbo, which sounds like a great name for a cigar for future reference. The Turbo cigar.
Not too bad.
Born in New Jersey and living currently full-time in Vegas?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I made the move out to Vegas. Drove with a buddy of mine about 2 days.
Okay, yeah.
2-day drive out here.
I've made that drive several times.
Yeah, so we're here for good now, man.
Awesome. Obviously, just getting around so many great people and UFC, Mecca, if you will. I mean, It's just this area. I would think that if you're an MMA fighter, I mean, the resources in this area and the people in this area, it's just an abundance of talent and skill.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the big things I noticed when I did come here, because I didn't have many flyweight training partners. You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm here, man, I got Alex Perez, over here. I got Hiroya, who's fighting in the Rising Grand Prix. So many high level guys that can give me that look of speed and technique that, I'm not saying bantamweights aren't great and training with featherweights aren't great, but dude, there is a different speed at 125, and if you're not used to that, man, you're gonna sink.
Oh yeah, I mean, I used to love Dodson fighting
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse. Like those guys were just you blink, you miss three things.
Lightning fast, man.
And obviously you're in that same category. I mean, just you're right. There's just such a lightning speed difference and endurance from what I can tell.
Absolutely,
you got to be able to just go and go.
Yeah, you can't be a one round warrior, I guess, at flyweight, man, because you're gonna get chewed up at that weight class. These guys can keep that speed up, and a lot of these guys are strong too, man. So I think physically fighting at 125, if you're not used to that pace, used to that speed, used to that cardio, you're gonna be in trouble at the highest level for sure.
It makes sense. So we'll open up with this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hungry are you for a shot at the UFC?
We're coming for it right out the gate.
We're going to swing it for the fences right out of the gate.
Dude, come on, man. We said 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
I'm saying 100.
100, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
I just don't think right now anybody is as hungry as me. You know what I mean? I've been training my whole life for this. At this point, I've moved cross country for this. I even got the scar on my face to prove it. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to kill or be killed, and I think there's some good fighters out there, but I don't think they're as passionate as me. I don't think they're as smart as me, and I don't think they're willing to die for it like I am.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I kind of gathered doing research, getting together about this, you're not out there padding your stats, trying to take a dude to run up your. I mean, you are 10-0, you're undefeated. But you're not taking the easy fights to pad the stats and maybe try to get it, easy finishes and things like that. So I give you a lot of respect for that. That's what it seems like from my point of view. Do you feel that way?
No, 100%, man. And I think that's the difference between me and all these other guys. I know I'm only 30 and I probably look 18. I look young, but dude, I come from that old school cloth. You know what I'm saying? Those guys like Ray Longo, Matt Serra. Seeing guys like Weidman, Pete Drago, Cell, these guys just fought anybody. You know what I'm saying? They saw a name on the other end of that contract. They just signed it off. You know what I'm saying? And that's the era I come from. You just fight the best guys. You want to be the best, right? So why am I going to sit there and fight this cab driver over here when this guy says he's the best? This guy says he's the best. That's the guy I want to fight. So at the end of the day, man, you look at some of these guys' records and, they might have this finish here, but who'd they fight? You know what I'm saying? They fought a guy who's 2-24. They fought a guy who's, 1-3. All right, that's cool. My third fight, I was fighting for the CFFC title against an absolute stud, and Alberto Trujillo, who trained with Rafael Cordero and Dominic Cruz and those guys. Like, you don't see that nowadays. You know what I'm saying? People just want to pad their records, and eventually they kind of end up get chewed out eventually, right? Because I think the skill eventually shows. But you look at my record, man. I'm fighting the best guys, and the best guys I could possibly find, former champions, current champions, and I'm still putting them all down.
The one thing that I love as call it a leader or a business guy or things like that, I love the winner mentality. And this wasn't on film, but we were talking a little bit before we got on the mic, and I love how you take ownership about everything. You were so complimentary towards the UFC and Mick and Dana. Like, these guys know what they're doing. I just got to keep improving. And give me your thoughts on that. I mean, you just obviously you take all the weight of the expectation, and you're putting it on yourself.
Yeah, and I think there's a gift and a curse that comes with that, right? Like, when people say you have so much potential, I mean, obviously it means they see something in you, and it means that it's complimentary towards you, whatever it might be, your level of skill, talent. For me, sometimes on the microphone, swagger, right? But also, then it's like that means you have to really meet it, right? You almost might have to do more than other people got to do to kind of get that praise, right? Because people expect a lot of you. So there's a gift that comes with it and a curse as well. But at the end of the day, man, the only thing I can control is my fights, how I fight, how I scrap, how I train. I got great training partners, thank God. I got great coaches, thank God for that. And there's a reason why I'm 10-0, and even though I'm undefeated, I can still keep working. I can still keep getting better. So that's all I plan on doing.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where we can only control things within our control, and that's where our attention and our focus needs to be. So to hear your mindset is there, I mean, you can't do anything but get better, because you're focusing on the right things.
100%, man. And you look at a lot of fighters, and not even fighters, but athletes, people in life, they almost have to take an L, right, in order for them to learn and say, okay, wait, I got to grow. Me, man, I could win, and I'm still sitting there saying, man, I could have won faster. I could have won better. I could have did this a little bit smoother. You know what I mean? So, I always thought I was weird in that way because, people would congratulate me and things, and, I'm saying thank you and all that. But in my head, I'm like, man, that wasn't even my best me. But at the end of the day, like you said, it just means you have a winner mentality, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Kobe would have been that way. Jordan was that way. So, and I always felt weird in that sense where I couldn't really relate to people. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. But then when you start hearing about these guys, it's like, okay, that's why I'm like that. Perfect. That means I'm on the right track.
It's mindset, right?
100%.
And it's like, there's something called the Pareto rule. It's the 80-20. Yeah. It's 20% of the people have 80% of the money. 20% of the people make 80% of the music. Yeah. It's a natural law. And then inside the 80-20, you got another 80-20. And, then you got another 80-20 inside that. So that's where when you get to the Jordans, the Kobes, the Tom Bradys, like these people are so intense. Anybody watching this, if you love sports, I just watched it for the 5th time up. I recommended it to Charlie. Tom versus Time. It's a 6-part series. It's on YouTube now. It was originally a Facebook thing, but you get to see an hour and a half of just behind the scenes with Tom Brady and stuff he's talking about, things that he's doing and the way he's pushing people. And like,
it was almost kind of like his version of the Last Dance documentary, right?
Basically something like that. Yeah. But just watching that, I watch it to get inspiration. I watch it because we become who we associate with.
100%.
Which is one of the things I want to come back to you, because you associate with all these, animals, And when I say animals, I mean it in the most complimentary way possible.
Of course.
But, sometimes if you're listening to this and you don't have a good circle of influence, go to the internet. You got 100%. Michael Jordan on the internet. You got 100%. Tom Brady. You got all you guys you can listen to. And part of what I want to do is pull out of you guys what's helping you become successful. And it's always mindset.
Yeah, man. And just playing off of that, when I was young, I didn't have a bunch of people who were aspiring athletes at the highest professional level. So I didn't have people, if anything, it was the opposite. People were telling me I couldn't do it. you shouldn't do it. Oh, you want to be a fighter? Like, why would you do that? That's so stupid. Like, I was always the weird one for wanting to be a professional fighter as a kid. So it was very easy to give up on that when I was young.
And you
So
didn't.
I didn't, man. And now I'm here. I'm undefeated. I'm surrounded by great people. I'm talking on this podcast with you. But when I was young, I had to do that same thing you were just saying, man. I had to go on the internet and look up guys like GSP, look up guys like Anderson Silva and Hoist Gracie and all these guys. I was on the internet watching YouTube videos of these guys when I was in middle school and high school because I didn't have that influence around me at the time.
But that just shows that, to me, that's an insight into your personality. Like, you're persistent. Like, if you decide I'm going to do something, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I'm going to do it.
100%. That's one thing I will say I got from my mom, man. Like, she always used to tell me when I was young, like, there's no such thing as smart people, only hard workers. And, I look at people like, I don't know, for me personally, I don't think talent is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? We might disagree on that. And I know other people will. Some people look at me like I'm talented and I'm just like, bro, like, I wish you saw me when I first threw a punch. I wish you saw me when I first threw a kick, dude. I looked like Gumby, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just worked my ass off. And now people think I'm talented. So it's like, I almost kind of came up with this own quote, man. Like myself, I was like, work so hard, people think you're talented.
Yeah.
And that's the way I live my life.
You know, it's a big thing. It's there's a saying, it's hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work. That's a great saying.
Yeah.
And it's important to, coming back to Jordan, he got cut from his team.
Yeah.
And he came back twice as determined the next year and went on to become Michael Jordan.
100%.
But that's the thing is, you're right. I mean, let's say that there is talent. If you're not developing it, if you're not working hard at it, it doesn't really matter, because the hard worker is going to pass you up.
100%.
The person who's determined, and especially when it comes in around 2 and 3, when you're tired and you're taking a beating, and like situations like you've had, you broke your hand in the first round, and that's where that dog comes out, and determination and talent isn't going to get you through that.
Look, man, I think it was the 3rd round of that fight with Jason Eastman. Yeah, man, that was I think the fight that made me, you know what I'm saying, like as a fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like the 3rd fight, obviously I beat Alberto Trujillo, I'm CFFC champ. That was the biggest win of my career because I had to push so hard against a good guy so early. But like, I think the fight that made me a man and that made me a dog was that Jason Eastman fight where I'm sitting there saying, look, I don't got a hand right now. Fuck it.
Fight this dude with knees and my other hand.
Yeah, bro, we're still fighting. You know what I'm saying? We're still here. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give in, and I'm going to still win these rounds. I'm going to still beat his ass. And we ended up still getting that belt at the end of that. So,
well, adversity reveals us to ourselves generally.
100%.
And there's no hiding from that. So coming back to, you brought up mom, one of the things I wanted to know about is going into your childhood a little bit, growing up in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
So what was little Phumi like?
Dude, I was definitely like, I wasn't like an athlete, you know what I'm saying? There were always kids who were faster than me, stronger than me, but dude, I was always moving, doing something, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was never part of any like sports teams. Like I played maybe rec basketball one year, but me and my boys, you'd always be outside running, doing something, shenanigans, sometimes getting in trouble, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But, I was just always active. And then as I grew up and I wanted to be a fighter, dude, I was always, I don't want to say I was like the weird one in that sense, but dude, there are people who were like, yo, why are you so obsessed with this like MMA thing? Even as like a middle schooler, you know what I'm saying? I think I had Anderson Silva as like my profile picture on
cool.
Facebook, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was always my weird thing, man. But I was just always in love with fighting.
So you just in general, you love the sport.
I just loved that whether it was professional wrestling, a theatric sense, or it was boxing. My mom's favorite boxer was Lennox Lewis, so we were always watching the boxing fights.
Dude.
He was a bad dude.
Yeah.
Even the PKA kickboxing fights, man, I would be up at night watching the PKA kickboxing fights, the dudes with the long shorts, fighting like Wonder Boy. I'd be watching those like late night on TV when it came on at like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I don't know what it was. You can call it like,
Just drew you to it.
Yeah, like God or whatever. I was just always drawn to two people in a ring. Who's the better man? Skill for skill, will for will. You know what I mean?
You know, it's one of the fascinating things to me, and I have this. When before my mom passed, she sent me a bunch of my boxes, and one of the things I had in there was this little like I made a book, like I was an author, and it was a book with me, like I was a guy that had a tie on. I'm driving this cool sports car. I had this building and a plane and it was all my stuff. Like I was a business guy.
Yeah.
I did this, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years old. Wow. I just think it's really fascinating how I think there's just something, and I don't know what it is. I don't think it's DNA. I believe it's something else. And I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole with quantum physics and universe and, you know.
Hey, but I'm right there with you on that. You know,
there's something to it when it's just in you. You're like, I've talked to a lot of people like Drew Dober, like that dude wanted to fight from the moment he can remember, you know. It's
100%.
You know, so there's something to it, and it's fascinating, and maybe today's not the time to go into it because I'm still learning about it, and I'm still curious about where does this come from, because what makes someone want to do something at the age of 6, you know, that isn't promoted. Yeah. Like nobody was promoting business ownership. You know what I mean? Like nobody was talking about that to me, but I knew I was going to be a business guy. I don't know what it is. And it sounds like, I think you watched a lot of pro wrestling growing up, right?
Yeah.
The WWE back then?
Yeah, my brothers got me into that. They started watching like around WrestleMania 9. Okay. So I don't even remember my first time watching pro wrestling. I was just out the womb, sitting next to those guys watching wrestling.
And you're the youngest of your brothers?
I am the youngest. Yeah. Okay. I got 2 older brothers.
Okay, so they probably imprinted a little bit on you as far as your environment.
Imprinted on me a lot of bit, from, you know, the stuff we were watching, the movies that I watched, the music I listened to them even beating me up and making me tougher. You know what I'm saying? They had a huge influence on me. You
know, I can't relate to as much of the wrestling. Of course, I'm 21 years older than you, which is crazy to think that. But at the end of the day, like I did like wrestling growing up, but it was more like early 80s, I think it was, like Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, you know.
Great era.
Macho Man. I remember the first time they did the cage. That's one of the first things I remember.
And that was like King Kong Bundy, right? Back in the day, something like that.
And one of those guys were actually bleeding, and I remember thinking, this is so crazy. Like, this is really, but it's, I never really got into it, but that was the window I did. Yeah. But it sounds to me like you really took to it a lot more and maybe even aspire to you know, dance in that arena yourself sometime.
Oh, 100%, man. I just, like I said, I love something about man versus man, who's going to win. Mm-hmm. You know, basketball I think is cool, but at the end of the day, you're just putting a ball in a hoop. Mm-hmm. Football is cool and all, but all right, man, I'm taking a ball and I'm running it across a pylon. Like, I'm not saying those sports aren't interesting.
Sure.
They're cool. They're fun to watch. But Dana White said it best. If you're in a neighborhood, right, and you got the neighborhood kids over there playing soccer, the neighborhood kids over there playing basketball, a couple people down the block playing tennis, and then a fight breaks out over here.
Everybody wants to see the fight.
Everybody's going to leave whatever they're doing, and they're going to go watch the fight.
Yeah.
So that was always what I took away from pro wrestling.
I've never heard that, but it is true, for sure.
100%. So I always took that away from pro wrestling and MMA and boxing. And then obviously, too, man, as I got older, I was like, you know what, I'm hopping in that squared circle myself. So I started training with the Amazing Red, who's one of the absolute greatest wrestlers of all time, one of the best innovators of all time. Everybody copies his move and his style. And, you know, I was able to hop in the ring with a legend like Matt Riddle, who's been in the UFC, been in the WWE. You know, I had a little bit of an indie run too. And I'm not closing the door on that yet, but at the end of the day, man, it was something I just had to do, and I'm probably still going to keep doing it.
Yeah, and I could see in a perfect scenario, you keep winning. I mean, at some point, you're going to get a shot. In my mind,
thank you.
You keep winning. You've got the mindset. You're going to keep trying to improve. Maybe it's more spinning back fists or something to try to, you know, just try to do something that you know that they want to see that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe it's throwing in 2 or 3 of those once in a while, or doing some all out power shots, or working on the ground and pound. I'm over here talking. What do you think are some of the things that you can do to help improve your chances of getting your shot in the UFC?
I mean, just getting better. You know what I'm saying?
Just keep improving all areas.
Improving in every area. You know, And I think the other thing too is what helps with moving to Vegas is I didn't have too many resources. You know what I'm saying? Like I was at one point, man, I had to travel about an hour and a half, 2 hours to training. You know what I'm saying? Not having many flyweights to train with.
That's tough.
But now it's like, all right, I got so much at my disposal right now. You know what I'm saying? I can train 2 times a day easily. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that alone, having like a better situation in life is just gonna help me open up more in my fights. It's gonna help me, you know, because let's put it this way, man. I'm already doing this stuff. I landed a cartwheel kick earlier this year. You know what I'm saying? Dropping people with spinning elbows. Like I'm nasty in there. I'm excited in there. You know what I'm saying? I got my fight of the night, my last fight. But it's just about doing more. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing a lot, but now it's just time to do more. And whether I was in the UFC, I'd be saying the same thing too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm winning in the UFC, I still got to do more. If I'm not in the UFC, I still got to do more. Regardless, winners don't stop when they're winning. They just keep pushing. So whatever I got to do.
But you're open to a pro wrestling career as well if that door doesn't open.
100%. And let's keep it this way. Even if it does, I'm down to do both.
Yeah, be the first Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson of MMA. That'd be kind of cool, right?
100%, man. I don't think anyone's doing it. And, you know, I've said this before, but nobody else has really been trained by a superstar stud in, you know, the Amazing Red wrestled a guy like Matt Riddle, you know, in a great match. And then at the same time been trained by amazing coaches like Ray Longo, Matt Serra. And then at the same time, not only being able to kill it in both of those sports, but damn, dog, I got a gift of gab on this microphone, man. You put a camera on me, you put a microphone in my face, I'm saucing it up. You know what I'm saying? So I bring something different to the table, and people might not like that I'm saying this or might think it's cocky or arrogant, but you should be confident in yourself, right? Bro, I got that it factor. I got that thing that people, they want to have, or maybe they just don't have it. Like, no offense to a lot of the guys out there. Pantoja, he's cool. He's finishing people. Anybody in this room sitting there saying, man, I got to line up and watch that Alexander Pantoja press conference? No. You know, Josh Van, he's cool. He's getting finishes. Anybody sitting there saying, man, I got to watch that Joshua Van press conference? Nah, man, like, end of the day, there's people who don't even watch me fight, and they're sitting there saying, yo, I got to watch that kid Phumi. What's he doing? He pro wrestling, I'm there. He's fighting, oh, I'm there. And it's because I got that star power, baby.
You know, you make a good point, because I'm a pretty hardcore MMA fan in terms of the volume of stuff that I watch. I don't watch that many press conferences, and there are some people that I do want to turn in to see. So you're right about that. And I've never even thought about that until now. Is there anybody that you would like to fight? Is there anybody you feel is like ducking you, or someone you want to call out, or anything like that?
I mean,
or you
obviously
just line them up and I'll take them down.
Line them up and I'll knock them down. Obviously, you got the top dogs in my weight class who are in the UFC. But it's funny, man. I was gonna fight this guy, Jorge Calvo. You know, 20-6 fighter. I would have been fighting him this weekend. You know, I was told he said yes. I was down to fight. All of a sudden, the guy goes ghost. You know what I'm saying? And stops answering calls I hear, but he's posting on his Instagram story. You know, that's a guy who's got a 20-6 record. That's a guy who's he's the Lux fighting champion, right? He's got a belt. He's saying no to a guy like me. You know what I'm saying? So I want to fight those type of fights.
Right.
You know, Cody Davis, former LFA champion. Give me that kind of fight, like, and I took that and I beat him. I wanted that Jorge Calvo fight because I thought he was the best guy out there. He hasn't lost in a long time. Guy was a champion. The guy has 2.5 times more fights than I do.
Super experienced.
Super experienced. And not only that, I offered to pay the guy my show money. When he said no, then I offered to pay him my show and win money.
What in the world?
And he still said no.
I mean, that's a compliment to you.
Compliment to me, but I think it just goes to show that some of these guys aren't real fighters. And I'm a dog, man. I'll fight anybody.
He just wants to hang on to that belt for a while longer, it sounds like.
I think he just doesn't want to lose.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, maybe he's making a good choice if he doesn't want to lose, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess we
but-
can give him credit for that.
Yeah, but I just wish a lot of these guys would stop running, man. I gotta be honest. It's kind of tough to get fights because of situations like that, you know?
Which is crazy. You would think there'd be so many hungry people that want to fight, but when it comes down to it, they're extremely calculating about the risks that they want to take, and you're not one of the names that they want to see on that dotted line, apparently.
100%. Like I told you, man, I come from that old school background. You put a name in front of me, all right, we fight. But I think the game has changed a little bit, and there's not too many fighters in the sport anymore. You know, there's people who just want to get to the show, say, okay, I was a UFC fighter, and then what happens? They lose 2, they get cut, and then all right, back to DoorDash. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So me, bro, I'm down to fight. I just wish these other guys were down to fight too.
Yeah. Well, I know you're staying in shape. If the UFC happens to be listening, you know, you're ready to go pretty much at a pretty quick moment's notice.
Yeah.
I mean, as an outsider point of view, I mean, I would think Contender Series is definitely in the cards. Maybe not, but I mean, I just think that you've got time to get another fight or 2 by then. And if you're 12-0, I mean, I got to think you're training with Merab and Aljo and all these Ray Longo. Like, I think you got to get a shot here at some point. That would make sense to me, you know?
I just got to keep the faith and keep working, brother.
Yeah. Would you say not getting fights? My question here is, what's one of the toughest things about being an MMA fighter? Yeah. And it sounds like that's probably in maybe your top 10 toughest things. I mean, if you're an MMA fighter and people won't take the fights, like, I'm out of business, you know?
Well, that's the thing. For some people, it's easy, right? Like, dude, I've had people try and search for fights for me. You know, for some reason, maybe they see I've trained with Merab or Aljo or Alex Perez, Ray Longo, Matt Serra, and they're saying, oh, that guy, 10-0, stud, like, oh, he looks good in his fights, doesn't get hit. Yeah, nah, I'm not. Why even take the chance?
Right.
So for me personally, man, I've been trying to get fights. You know, thank God I was able to fight twice this year. I fought 2 guys who were dogs and also had that old school mentality, but there's not that many guys at 125. And, you know, a guy like Chapolin, who's, I think he's a LFA champion, like, I don't think he's really itching to fight me. They also got another guy who's an interim LFA champ, Brazilian guy. I don't think he's itching to fight me. So it's like, what do? All these top guys don't want to fight me. You know, all these guys who are good, like, you know, Bilal Hassan, I met him. He's a great guy. You know, good kid. He's going to be a superstar at some point too. It ain't like he's itching to fight me on the regional scene either. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these guys are scared to fight me. And no offense to these guys, they could be upset about it or what, that I'm about to say this, but it just shows that I'm the real top dog. Yeah. Especially at 125 pounds.
Yeah, sounds like they're making business decisions, you know, versus just, you know, one of the things I loved about, again, shout out Drew Dober in our podcast, he was like, he wasn't getting noticed by the UFC. He was kind of in a similar situation. Yeah. And he was able to, there was this guy that the UFC was looking at and they were going to be there and all this kind of stuff. And Drew's like, I want to fight that dude. Yeah. But it sounds like, you know, you can't even, they won't take your fight, you know? And then Drew went and beat the guy. And all of a sudden, the UFC is like, oh, you know, we were here for this guy, but this guy's a beast.
So I got another story for you.
All right.
January, I don't know if it was January of this year. Memory's a little foggy at this point. But there was a guy named Tony Laramie, right? And, you know, they were doing a looking for a fight show in Canada. He was a 125er. They were bigging him up. A guy falls out. I'm putting my name in there. You know what I'm saying? It might have been last year. Was it this year? I can't really remember, man. I think it was last year. But I put my name into the hat. I'm like, you know what? It's looking for a fight. It's in front of Dana White. You're fighting in front of Dana White. Right. The boss man. Right. I'm putting my name into the hat. It's short notice. I think it was maybe a week and a half out. Jeez. I'm like, look, give me this fight. Guy says no. And he ends up not even fighting in front of Dana. That's where we're at. We're at the point now where
so he wouldn't even take the opportunity to fight in front of Dana White.
That's what I'm saying, man.
He didn't want to lose in front of Dana White.
He didn't want to lose in front of Dana White. And me personally, I don't give a damn. I'll fight whoever. If I lose and I gave everything I had, I got no problems with it. But these guys just don't want to scrap. So you talk about that Drew Dober situation. it sucks because I can't even have a moment.
You got to have a
at
dance
that.
partner.
You know what I'm saying? Because you need someone willing to fight. And we're at the point now where all these guys know I'm so damn good. Even if it's in front of Dana White, they're saying, nah, I'm not scrapping.
Wow. That's got to be discouraging in a way, you know?
Like I said, it's a gift and a curse. You know, it's a curse because it sucks and I'm not fighting. But at the end of the day, I'm getting better every day. So whenever someone does sign on that contract, it's probably going to be worse for them. You know, but it's also a gift too, right? Because it means I'm as nasty as everyone says I am. So it's good.
And you know what's great is I could see you saying this too, is like these MFers, they're afraid of the old me. That was 3 months ago. I'm better.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
All these guys were saying no to me before, but man, I've been training with Alex Perez a lot, helping him get ready for his fight next week in Qatar.
Okay.
Man, that guy's gotten me so much better than I was. So now it's like, all right, bro, y'all didn't want to fight me then. I think at this point now, it's going to be even more dangerous for whoever does step in there with me, you know?
Yeah, I could see it. What do you think is one of the best parts about being an MMA fighter?
I think doing what you love.
Yeah.
Doing what you love, man. Like, obviously it's tough. You know, I got a DoorDash after this just to make some extra bread, you know what I'm saying, and do extra stuff. But I'd rather live this life and do this than be stuck at some 9 to 5, banging on a keyboard, looking at a computer screen all day, hating my life, living a rat race, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So definitely enjoying what I love to do every day is what is the best part about this, for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's a great answer, because if you're doing something you love, you're going to get there. I mean, at the end of the day, you're putting in the work, you're focused, you're surrounded by the right people for sure.
100%.
I mean, how cool is it being around Merab, Aljo? I mean, Ray Longo as an outsider is one of my favorite coaches.
He's the man,
just having watched it for so long, he just seems like the guy. That's gonna get you to push yourself.
100%.
He seems like the guy that I could see, like, let's say you had a workout or something or a session or this and that, and he gives you that was pretty weak.
Yeah.
You know, like, that hurts. Ray Longo said that hurt. You know, that was weak.
Yeah.
Like, I could just see Ray being the type of guy to just say a few words and it's like motivate you, you know?
100%, man. And I think what's cool about like where I'm at in my life too, I'm super blessed. Dude, I get to talk to that guy like whenever, you know what I'm saying? I'll call him and, you know, he'll answer. We'll just chop it up for an hour, just talking about life, fighting, you know, women, anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to having that guy, man, just on your side for sure has changed my career, changed my life, and he's been more than a coach to me for sure, man. So I'm blessed.
And you were basically learning MMA, if I'm not mistaken, when Chris Weidman beat Anderson Silva. I mean, you're literally in the gym with the guy training and working with him, right?
Yeah, so I joined the gym, I want to say maybe that last week of August 2013. So he had already beaten Anderson Silva, and I'm watching him get ready for the rematch. Dude, I'm telling you, man, like, I've watched so many of the great fighters train over the years. I don't think I've ever seen anyone train as hard as that guy and, like, be as nasty as that guy at that time. That guy, that Chris that was getting ready for Silva 2, that was getting ready for Lyoto Machida, bro, he was just not just on another level physically, skillfully, but like, dude, mentally, man, like, you weren't breaking that guy at all.
Just hungry.
Dude, he was gonna run through anybody in that gym. I watched the guy spar with one guy for 3 rounds, kill him. Spar with another guy for the last 2 rounds, kill him. So now he's already got 25 minutes under the books. Then right after that, hop into the boxing ring and just box with a professional boxer for another 3 rounds.
Jeez.
And then kill him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then do another workout after that. Bro, he was a dog, man. Like, you know, Merab motivates me, Aljo motivates me, seeing the way they work motivated me for sure. But seeing Weidman for those camps especially, I was like, whoa, like, that's unreal.
It can't be overestimated how important it is for you to be around those type of people that are on similar journeys. You know, like being a sales guy in a great sales organization, you learn so much.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of the same thing. It's that mentorship. It's that you become who you associate with.
100%.
You know, and we hang around winners, we're going to be more of a winner. You hang around losers, you're going to be more of a loser.
Yeah.
You know, it just is what it is.
And that's why, like, I also got to give a shout out to Alex Perez, man. Like, over the last, like, couple months, dude, he's kind of really taken to that role, too, where, like, if we're in class and we're doing something, he'll literally sit there and say, look, man, by the way, you should do this, this, and this as well. You know, if I'm sitting on the sideline watching people spar, he'll come up to me, sit down next to me and be like, yo, what are you seeing? Oh, I'm seeing this. He's like, okay, we'll see this, this, and that.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely also been a part of that little like mentorship as well, man. So I just got to give him his flowers on that too, even though, you know, I bust his balls a lot. You know, I probably won't say this to his
That's your
face.
job. That's your job.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I've met Alex a few times. I mean, super nice guy.
For sure.
Great family. How do you feel pressure being undefeated? Is that something you carry like a little bit of a burden at all?
I think sometimes right before I walk out, yes.
Okay.
But during training, absolutely not. And the minute that bell rings, absolutely not.
Okay.
You know, but you know, I learned that when, you know, if you are nervous, it's good. Nerves mean you actually care. So end of the day, like, we all get nervous, we all get scared. GSP used to throw water on his face and throw up and all that. I'm not at that level, man.
Right.
But for sure there's pressure, but pressure could either bust a pipe or make a diamond.
Yeah.
And I choose to be a diamond.
Yeah, that's true. One of the things I like to always think about is John Wooden, who's a famous UCLA coach, like one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah.
He never talked about winning or losing. He only talked about optimum performance. You know, he said we could play our perfect game and we win. If we play our perfect game, if you go out and give it everything you could and you maxed out your skills, you won regardless of the outcome of the fight.
Yeah.
And I think when you go into it, it's completely detached from the result. I think there's really something about that mindset that, hey, I was at my best. Versus, let's say you won the match, but you know you didn't do your best. That's when you're actually disappointed, just like you are. You know, it's like, man, I could have done so much more. So that just shows you. You know, I'm just trying to tell you, I think you've got the right mindset for all that, which is a huge thing because, you know, the difference between ditch diggers and billionaires are the way we think. You know, what we do with our time and how we work.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. Who's been? We've talked about this a little bit, but let's just say, how much has somebody like Aljo meant to you as far as just being around that guy for what, over a decade now, right?
It's crazy. It makes me feel old.
Time flies, man.
It makes me feel old.
Yeah.
But now, man, he's been an absolute like straight brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been crazy to watch his journey. That was the first person I think I saw actually get the call, you know, in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was training at Longo's. He was just coming off a shoulder surgery at that point, still fighting for CFFC. He won that fight, and then I think they called him to fight Cody Gibson, I think it was, on the Ronda Rousey card. And I just remember that buzz, like, oh shit, like Aljo got the call, like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, whoa, like, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? You're seeing someone make that jump from here to there.
Right.
Then obviously to see him go through his adversities that he's, you know, been able to handle well, whether it was the ridiculous fans or the Peter Yan situation or even like, you know, the Marlon Moraes fight, see how we handled all that and said, you know, bro, I'm gonna bite down on my mouthpiece and still be a champ. Goes and beats Yan, beats TJ, you know what I'm saying? Like, beats Cejudo, you know what I'm saying? Like, establishes himself as the guy. Dude, it's been super motivating to me. And then also, bro, he's a nice dude, you know what I'm saying? Dude, let me crash at his house as well right now. So
he's a really good dude. I feel
100%.
like you know, I didn't realize this until maybe the last 6 months or so, but like he gets a fair share of hate out there, and I
unjust.
The more I get to know him, I'm like, man, you guys don't know Aljo. Like, he's a good dude. And back to the way he won the championship, he beat him the second fight. Conversation's over.
Yeah, 100%.
And he beat him pretty convincingly.
Oh, dude, I thought it was pretty decisive. I know, like, I don't know. I think people wanted the decision to go the other way, but I'm sitting there going, there's no way the judges could sit there and say that Jan won that fight.
No,
But,
it was so. To me, that whole conversation's ridiculous at this point, because
yeah,
if he never fought Jan again, now people could say what they could say.
for sure.
But the fact he went out there and did it well, like, conversation's over. I don't want to hear any more about
Conversation's
it. You know.
Yeah.
I know you've been through some adversity in life. If someone out there is listening right now, what tips would you go through dealing with adversity? Like, I know I heard the story about your broken hand and you couldn't get in right away, and then they had to re-break it. And like,
Yeah.
you've obviously gone through a lot of adversity to get to this point. What tips, if you were going to give a tip to someone out there that's maybe going through a tough time, what advice would you share with someone?
Oh man, it's funny because I'm still working on this myself.
Sure.
I'm a human. I'm still growing, so I might be giving advice to myself right now. Who
Yeah,
knows?
that's all right.
But I just think you have to protect your peace in your mind. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes the world can get so noisy. You almost start listening to the noise of the world as opposed to listening to your own mind, and then that's kind of where the trouble comes from. So one, always try and protect your peace, protect your mind. You know what I'm saying? And watch that first. And then two, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? I always believe that.
Yeah.
I don't think it can't possibly be dark forever. Life can keep kicking you down, kicking you down, kicking you down. A broken clock is right twice a day, right? So why can't eventually the tables turn in your life? Just one time.
Yeah.
So I think protect your peace and always believe there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And man, keep a good circle of people around you too, because
Crucial.
100%, man. If you're around poison, you're only going to be infiltrated with poison. So you need people around you who are going to big you up, who are going to help you, who, I've been down in life. So there's been times where I've been down, whether it was my broken hand or, my friend who passed, and, I was kind of part of that. Like, I was there for that, which was rough. Like, I've been down and I've watched, people try and help me up. I've been down, I've watched people just walk past me like it was nothing, and see me on the ground and not care. And then I've also been that guy on the ground and then seen people try and kick me down even worse, right? So you always got to watch out, man, for you always got to look out for the people who are there to help you up when you were down, especially when you were down, man.
Yeah. Well, I think those are, again, it's old man wisdom here, 51, but those are valuable times when you're down, because, again, adversity shows you things. When the people not only didn't help you up or not only weren't really there for you, you kind of find out like, oh, I was at my low point and such said what? Really?
Yeah.
Like, wow. Okay.
Like, oh, this guy that's what you were saying behind my back? Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Okay. So this adversity I'm going through, this scenario did me a favor. It shined some light on some things that I didn't know before.
Yeah.
Now I know. And my personality is I don't necessarily confront people. I'm very confrontational. If someone wants to have the conversation, I'm game. Like, I love discussion. But it's like there's plenty of people that I know from back home and this and that, and that are probably not happy I'm out here with a bunch of UFC fighters and launching a business, and like things look good, right? Yeah. Even though we're going through adversity right now. We were talking a little bit about that. Like, there's never going to not be adversity. And O'Day and I were talking today, and it's like, if everything went by like according to plan and everything went great and everything just kept moving on, like, this would be boring.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's the down times and the rough times. What's crazy is you're going to look back and you're going to cherish those times. Like, man, I was down to my last $3. Like The Rock talks about, he was down to his last $7.
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee he thinks about that on a regular basis. And being in that bad spot makes all of these good times 1,000 times better. We can't appreciate the good times without having the bad times.
100%. And in all that too, I'll just add this little bit of advice for people who are going through stuff. I got a reminder on my phone. I'll show you now, man. Maybe I can't find it right at this second, but it says thank him. And like every night, 12 a.m., I've had this for years, man, like since probably 2014 or 2015. like it's just to thank God, a reminder on my phone to thank God for anything. And I was like really down bad at that point. Like I'm talking down bad to the point where it was like, all right, we're gonna pay money for gas so I can go to the gym or food so I could eat.
Right.
So, all right, bro, I gotta train, so I gotta pay for the gas and maybe just eat, sleep for dinner today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I remember at that point I was like, bro, just feeling so down. So I set a reminder on my phone, just thank him. And every night, 12 a.m. hits, I get that reminder on my phone and I just thank God for at least something. You know, back then it was like, all right, bro, like I don't got food, I don't got really much, but all right, I got fresh air. All right, I got a place to sleep. All right, I got a car. Like, but now it's like, all right, man, now I get to train with the best fighters in the world. Thank him for that. You know, now I got a nicer car. Thank him for that. I'm 10-0 as a fighter. I never thought I would get here. I thank him for that. So I think that has helped me a lot as well, for sure.
That's awesome. Well, the other thing is when you're in the UFC and you're making 80-80 and you're getting performance bonuses and things like that, it's like there's going to be another level we're going to want. Yeah. And when you're a winner, you're always going to want different levels. You know, it's different levels come with different problems. I was just belly aching about the cost of a freaking the battery in my Defender. You know, it's $600 to switch out a battery. Yeah, $249 and then $329 to switch it out. Like for a car battery. Like it's like, all right, it's a first world problem. Got to keep it in context.
More money, more problems, brother. You know.
By the way, don't buy a Defender. Number of reasons, but just my opinion. But kind of winding things down here. Thank you again for your time, Phumi. I know how busy you are.
For having me.
I know you're a big coffee guy. When did you get on coffee?
So I go hot and cold with it. Sometimes I drink coffee. Sometimes I drink Rebels. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like a Red Bull. You know, I'm a big Dutch Bros guy now that I'm out here. You know what I mean? But I just got sponsored by this company, Noku. And it's more like a BCAA caffeinated drink, so it's healthier. But yeah, man, I don't know what it is. I don't know if I need that fix sometimes. Like, I don't have many vices, man, but if I'm on a coffee like kick or a Red Bull kick, I'm not stopping. This probably was when I was like 20 years old, 21 years old or something like that. I just
started enjoying it.
Yeah, man, it's you start eventually just liking the taste, and then you go from needing one to all right, I need two.
Couple, yeah.
To all right, now I'm getting a small. Now, bro, I got a large Rebel, bro. This thing is freaking huge. So, yeah, I got to chill out though, for sure.
Well, I can relate. It's one of those things. Evan and I had a conversation because he wanted to stop drinking coffee for a week or something like that, and all of a sudden, the first day or two, he was like jonesing, and he's like, "What the hell, man? I'm like really jonesing for this coffee." And then that. Evan's personality, he ain't drinking coffee now for a while because he doesn't want to have anything having a grip over him, which
he's a mentally tough dude, man. I like
really
kicking
is.
it with him, man.
Evan's a good dude, man. He's probably been one of the just a real joy to get to know. I'll just say that. Which someone that wasn't really on my radar necessarily is a big MMA fan. I knew him, of course, he's good, but now that I know him, like he's one of my favorites. Can't wait to see him back in there. So wrapping up with a couple things. Top 10 movie that you enjoy. Maybe you're not a big movie guy. Yes or no?
No, I actually am a big movie guy, man. I got a sweatshirt. I'm not wearing it right now, but I got a Pulp Fiction sweatshirt. Okay, it's probably my favorite article of clothing. Growing up, I loved two movies: The Lion King. And then also, I watched a lot of movies that I probably shouldn't have been watching as a kid. And Pulp Fiction and Friday were probably two movies that
well, that's not too bad. I mean, they could have been worse.
No, it could have been. I mean, I've probably seen worse, but those two movies for sure, like I just would have on repeat. Like Pulp Fiction and Friday for sure. Like I love those
classics,
movies. Classics,
for sure.
Classics.
Top 10 band or artist for you?
Jay-Z's number one for me. Okay. Yeah. I love Sade as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Growing up, for some reason, man, I just love Boys to Men. Like I don't know what it was.
Well, they were super talented, man. Or are super talented. Obviously, they didn't go anywhere.
They are. And also, my brothers too would listen to like those guys, Genuine and stuff like that. So I was a big R&B guy growing up. Okay. As a kid. So all that, man.
It's crazy. We're talking about this. Like I had this itch to listen to I'll Be Sure the other day. Yeah. Of rocking Sexy Versus that album, like driving down the road, like 51-year-old guy going back to the 90s here.
Yeah, man.
But
Bro, someone would say the music was better back then.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I think we're getting a little bit older probably, and so the newer stuff may not hit like it once might have.
Yeah, not to me.
But I still like a lot of new stuff like Chainsmokers or Dom Dello. We were out there a month or two ago.
I just can't get down with like a lot of the new rap, like Playboy Cardi and stuff like that. You don't even know what these dudes are saying nowadays.
See, I don't even know them, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do Tupac. I can hang with Jay-Z.
Okay,
I can hang with a lot of that stuff. I grew up on that.
Yeah.
NWA, Eazy-E. I mean, Digital Underground. I mean, that was
And I was talking about earlier, like the influence my brothers had on me. I'm telling you, like I was the kid where like everyone was listening to Lil Wayne. I was like the one kid that was like, man, he's ruining rap. Like, listen to these guys. And my iPod was full of guys like you're saying,
old school,
Ice Cube. Yeah. Like that was just my style.
Public Enemy. I mean, Chuck D was awesome, man.
Bro,
still one of the best
Clips.
voices.
Like I was just at a Clips concert the other month, man. Like that's my kind of music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, some good stuff. But any case, anything you want to say kind of wrapping up here? Anything you can throw out there?
To my supporters, thank you. To my haters, thank you. And for anybody out there at 125 pounds, stop being scared. Sign on that dotted line. Fight your boy. You know what I'm saying? I want that shot as much as you guys do, but stop being scared. I guess
awesome.
that's all I gotta say, man. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, come get you a piece if you can handle it. You can make your claim off of Pumi's back.
That's all I'm saying, man. You beat me, you might get a contract, but just know you ain't beating me. And after that, I'm gonna probably get in front of that camera, get on this microphone, and talk it up too. So come get some of this whooping, baby.
Awesome. Well, thank you, brother, for hanging with me here for an hour or so, and look forward to. I believe with all my heart you're going to get like a Contender Series thing. That's just my guts telling me. Even if it's a last minute fill in, that's my guts telling me.
I mean, look, man. One, thank you for having me on the show, but two, man, I've gotten a lot of great offers from a lot of great companies. So big money stuff, man. So I know for certain where I'm at skillfully. I know for certain where I'm at in terms of like we were talking about that camera, this microphone. Yeah. A little bit of that if factor, so big things hopefully coming soon.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do for your future family and your career, and whether it's with the UFC or not. So, that might be a window of opportunity that closes for them as well. So
we'll see, man. We'll see how life works out. But
God's in control.
The way I figure is this, right? I want to be the best in the world. And in order for you to really be the best in the world has to be watching. So wherever I fight next, I want the world to be watching because they can't miss out on this.
That's right. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Phumi. And look forward to seeing you. And maybe when you're in the UFC and you're 5-0, we can do this again and get caught up.
Let's do it, brother.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for your time. And thanks for joining us for another 5 Things podcast. We'll see you next time.